Well, Brantley, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day to catch up with me.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me.
Now, you are keeping it crazy busy here. You got some new music for us. And one song I want to talk with you about here is Sins of the Father. What can you tell us about this one?
Well, it's the title track of the album. Uh, Mostly because it kind of encompasses where I'm at as a dad and in faith and in life in general. Somebody had a little bit of a checkered past. And at one point, going having a chapter in life where I didn't plan on being anybody's dad or anybody's husband to having three of them running around. It's a little bit of fear about, the things I did in the past catching up with them. So much that I kind of went into it biblically. My wife's been dragging my butt back to church, and found it source at least twice in the Bible, one in Exodus and one in Ezekiel. And the first one I found was like, you know, children to the third and fourth generation will suffer because of the sins of the father or something to that effect. And I was like, oh no, that's really bad news. And then in Ezekiel it said, you know, something different. So before I sought context or direction from a pastor or anything, I kind of wanted to write the song from that place and not having, any clarity. Really, because I feel like that's where most of us spend most of our time in faith and in life and in parenthood is, I'm reminded on a daily basis by an 8, 6, and a 1 year old that I don't know shit that I thought I did. So, I ended up talking to my pastor, and he was like, explained it in Exodus. It's Moses talking to those folks that were wilding out, telling them, kind of cut it out, or their future generations would suffer, and they didn't listen. God eventually wiped them off the planet. So, a couple thousand years later in Ezekiel, it's him prophesying that Jesus is going to come and kind of take all that on. So it was a little bit of a sigh of relief, but old sayings are there for a reason, and the one about you pay for your raising is terrifying. 'Cause being a dad's the coolest job I've ever had, but it's also the scariest. So all of my albums are chapters of my life, and that one really this one's no different. That song really kind of encompassed as a whole where I was where I'm at. So
Definitely. And like you mentioned, this one is the title track of the new collection of music that's coming out on July 24th, right?
yes, ma'am.
That's amazing. How was it for you for working on this chapter, like you mentioned, of your life?
What's that now? I'm
How
sorry.
was it? How was it for you working on this chapter? Like you mentioned, every album you've put out has been like a chapter of your life.
This is super cool because conceptually, we kind of, how many times have you fell in love with an artist or a band, and your favorite album of theirs is usually the first and second. Um, for a lot of artists that'll, admit it, our first and second, or sometimes our favorite too. We've said for years, and there's absolute truth to this, that you have your whole life experiences to write your first album and or into your second, and that, well, I do think that's true. I also think that we don't know the rules on the first one and the second one, as a writer. So we kind of wanted to go back to what made me fall in love with my job, what made me fall in love with writing. And, that was not being filtered, not having any red tape, and not having any rules. I've never been great with rules. So we took all the rules out of the writing room. The only rules were there are no rules. And we took the rules out of the studio. Just let these songs be what they wanted to be. We wanted to be reminiscent and kind of go back stylistically, really close to the first two records. Um, and have a reminiscent album that kind of looks back from this chapter of life and says a couple different things. One, man, that was fun, or man, that was hard, or how the hell did we make it through it? You know what I mean? That's the overall theme of the record. It's hard to put it into those so few words, but yeah, we're really proud of it. Can't wait for everybody to hear it.
That's amazing. I know folks have been getting a chance to hear a lot of these new songs out on the road for you because you've extended your tour in the States, right?
We have. It's doing extremely well, and Good Damn, our single out at radio right now, has been doing extremely well. So it was our second biggest ad date of my entire career, behind Bottoms Up. That was 13 years ago. So it's safe to say they don't nominate me for new artist anymore. but it's the first time I've been a new artist at a label. I was with the same label for 15 years, and there's people there that I love and care about and will for the rest of my life. But it's nice to be the shiny new toy somewhere, and it was an opportunity for me to kind of reset and go back to what it is that made me fall in love with this whole crazy thing in the first place.
Definitely. I'm so glad that you mentioned Bottoms Up too. Like that one came out like around the time when I first got into country radio. So I remember playing the heck out of that one for all of our listeners and stuff too. And it still is a favorite for so many. It's kind of like talking back to like you mentioned going through like albums and songs from the past of you. How does it feel to still see fans going crazy for songs like that one?
Oh, it's really cool. I don't say I or me very often for a reason. It's like I've had guys and ladies too in the office and with the label, through the years and in the management office. And these men and women have huge sweat equity and blood, sweat, and tears into building something I feel like is really special. And it took us 20 years to build it, and we're super proud of it. And this album is the next chapter of that story, which is just super cool. So it's really exciting for all of us, especially being kind of a new beginning in a bunch of different ways. And there's some statements on this album. It's a 15 song album, which is pretty steep, especially with only having one feature on the entire album. And there's reasons for that. That was a statement as well. It was kind of a, I'm back type thing.
That's amazing. I love that. Like I said, I know our listeners cannot wait for this new collection of music to come out on the 24th. And I know you mentioned a bit about your kids as well. Like, you are such an awesome dad. I heard that also you kind of limit the screen time for kids, which I think is amazing.
My wife's kind of the driving force in that, and obviously we're a team there, but she's in the trenches every day. It's kind of something I got to be careful with, not to be gone for 3, 4 days or 2 weeks and come home and be the fun dad. So, she's the driving force at home for sure. Um, then yeah, it's one of those things where I think there's going to be some balance to be found because the future is in those phones. So, but at the same time, kids or guys my age and girls my age, we grew up in playing outside. We turned out all right. So, yeah, we live on a farm and they pop up looking for my dad or my brother, and they call weekdays work days. And they just get to side by side with them and do whatever we're working on the farm that day, and it's fun to them. And so that's an awesome deal. It's an awesome environment there at the farm, and they're around family, and they're learning how to work really early.
That is amazing. I love that. And of course, too, like your family is just such a big part of your life. I know, like, you actually even helped deliver one of your kids while you were out in the middle of a show. Like, that's still so crazy to like look back on, hey?
Yeah, that's a little crazier for my wife. Like no drugs, no nothing. Just 3 songs into a show, they came and got me, and she sure enough had a baby on the bus, and I got to catch him. So I was the first person to touch him and handed him directly to her, and it was a special moment. It was not an idea I was crazy about, and we really didn't think it would happen out there. She had had one of the best nights of the pregnancy the night before. Slept all night. It was like he was giving her a break before. It was party time. But he is our little hellion. He is wide open. And he is a bull in a china shop. But so he's our little wild man.
He just wanted to make a debut on tour with you.
100%.
That
100.
is awesome. So, I got a couple questions here for you, some fun ones. I wanted to know what is a completely non-musical talent that you have?
Oh gosh. That shouldn't be a tough one, but it's been 2 days full of questions. That's the trivial stuff is going to be difficult for me. What guys? What am I good at outside of music? Being a dad, man. I'm still working on that. I'm in a learning season. Man. I'm a good friend. I'm a good friend.
There you
I'm
go.
everybody's 2 or 3 a.m. friend. Even as a dad of three and a husband, I think people know if things get rowdy, they can call me at 2 and we can go wherever we need to.
That is amazing. Another one for you. What is your favorite song to cover? I feel like everybody has one.
There's a bunch. It's hard to put my hand on one, but my finger on one. But I can tell you right now, we kind of do a rock jam, which is really cool. We go from uh, Three Doors Down to Limp Bizkit to
Love it.
Corn, and then to Linkin Park. So that's a pretty fun one right now. A little medley we've got put together.
And since you're getting ready for your new album to come out on the 24th, taking a look back, what was your very first CD that you ever purchased? Do you remember what that was?
Oh God, no. So I had a wreck shortly after high school that I hit my head pretty hard. So my memory before then's a little bit hazy, but yes, I would know where to start there. I hope it was Leonard Skinner. That's my favorite band, if that helps with anything.
There you go. That's amazing. Well, we won't keep you too much longer here, Brantley. Is there anything you want to say to your fans here in Canada and in Saskatchewan? They're so excited about this new music.
Oh, for sure, man. Just thank everybody for, we've been doing this for 20 years, and I know that wouldn't be the case if a lot of folks out there didn't support us buying tickets and buying albums, and I don't take that for granted ever. So I love you guys, man. Thank you. God bless all of you, and can't wait to see y'all on the road, hopefully in Canada sometime soon.
Hopefully, I know many of us had a chance to see you when you're out on the road a while back with Nickelback. So hopefully we get a chance to see you on your tour, hopefully up here.
Yeah, I love those guys, man. A bunch of rock stars.
Right? Exactly. Literally.
Yeah, for sure.
Awesome. Well, Brantley, thank you so much for chatting with me today. It's such a pleasure to get a chance to catch up with you today.
Absolutely. You too. Thank you for having me.
No problem. Take care, Brantley.
All
Thank
right.
you.
Yes, ma'am.